I used to make a joke that every time, well, it's not really a joke. Every time I would get a divorce, I would live at the Sunset Marquis, which was pretty often. So.
How many times did you live there?
3 or 4.
That's a lot of times.
Yeah.
Billie Bob Thornton's had many reasons to want to hide away in his life. First of all, he's a shy man. He loves to tell stories, but doesn't love the spotlight. Second, he's strange. He's done things in the public eye that became headlines that follow him today. Third, he's had many relationships. Not all of them have ended well. One was an odd match, but didn't seem ill-fated. It felt like it could go all the way. Keep watching, though, as Billie Bob Thornton confirms why he divorced Angelina Jolie. Billie Bob's previous wives. Hollywood tends to be a world of quick, easy relationships. Billie even plays characters who have plenty of them, or at least make comments that suggest they want them. But he's always searched for something more. He seems to dream of a permanent, loving wife. He'd rather put a ring on it and try to achieve that dream than go around and find every woman he can. Billie says in his own words, quote, "I've been married 5 times, and people think that's some bizarre thing. Yet I've got buddies who refuse to get married and have sex with 15 people a week. I'm like, which is better? At least I was trying." Melissa Lee Gatlin. Melissa was Billie Bob's first wife. They were married in 1978 and had a daughter named Amanda on June 30th, 1979. There isn't much public information about the relationship, but there are details on how it tore his daughter apart. Amanda and Billie Bob became estranged as she grew up with her mother. She was sentenced to 20 years in prison in 2008 for the death of her friend's 1-year-old daughter and released in 2020. Toni Lawrence. Toni and Billie Bob were married from 1986 to 88. They didn't have children, and there isn't much info about them either. Toni still could see into his heart in what little time they were together. She later said, quote, "He's really talented, that's obvious now, but he's very troubled." Cynda Williams. Cynda was an actress and producer known for films like 1990's Mo Better Blues, 1992's One False Move, and 2021's Mad as Hell. She became a major name before she even met Billie Bob. Cynda said they were just friends and should never have been married. She later married Roderick Plummer in 2001, and they have a child and a happy family. Pietra Cherniak. Pietra is a Playboy model who married Billie Bob in 1993. They had 2 children, William, born in 1993, and Harry, born in 94. Pietra filed for divorce due to irreconcilable differences in April of 1997. She also asked for a restraining order against her ex-husband, claiming he had been regularly physically abusive to her in the last few months, even in front of the children. Billie Bob denied the charges. He said he never did anything he was being accused of, and they should focus on caring for the children. Falling in love with Angelina. Angelina Jolie and Billie Bob fell in love on the set of 1999's Pushing Tin. He was engaged to Laura Dern at the time. She was allegedly shocked to hear when he broke off the engagement to be with Angelina. She said, quote, "I left our home to work on a movie, and while I was away, my boyfriend got married, and I've never heard from him again." Billie later addressed the situation in a 2001 interview. He basically said he had to follow his heart, which he almost always does anyway. In his own words, quote, "Others may say that you left our girl and married someone else, but it made me happy and someone else happy. I'm sorry it caused pain." They were married from 2000 to 2003. That's surprisingly the same amount of time Angelina was married to Brad Pitt. She was Billie Bob Thornton's 5th wife. Angelina seemed to be taking their unique situation seriously in the beginning. She said,
"We kind of signed our life away to each other, and legally and with blood."
Despite that powerful language, the bond didn't last long. The couple broke up only months after adopting a child from Cambodia. Angelina then revealed she intended to adopt the child as a single parent. Addressing the controversies. Billie Bob has never been known for being normal. He can be a strange and unpredictable actor. The media has plenty of material when trying to make interesting stories out of his life. That's especially true with his relationships. He admits that he and Angelina had a lot of fun together. Some of the things they did together went beyond strange. They were a bit morbid, such as picking out hers and his grave plots. What about the necklaces they wore that allegedly contained vials of each other's blood? He said it was a simple way to remember each other when they were apart. But they weren't wearing buckets of blood around all the time like the media portrayed it.
I think a lot of it is, some of the stuff they say has some sort of basis in fact, but it's usually embellished or, taken the wrong way or whatever. But I think a lot of the stuff that we do is really not that big a deal, but it just sounds good, to talk about. So I mean, this whole thing about vials of blood, they're not actually vials, they're little clear, what the hell do you call them? The lockets, like you put a picture in.
Uh-huh.
And, you know, we poke our finger and put a drop of blood in it. It's just a symbolic thing, you know.
How they see each other today. Not all of Billie Bob's divorces were a mutual, kind split. That's probably why he decided to hide in a recording studio for a while after most of them. That's not the case with Angelina. Billie Bob has only kind words about their brief time together. He says, quote, "I look at that time as a great time. Angie is still a friend of mine, and she's a great person, and she's done so much." He also respects how her career is going. He strongly believes in accepting only the roles you believe in, which is why he's moved away from films. Streaming TV has the resources to tell the kinds of stories he used to love in independent films. Angelina has taken a similar direction as she's moved from acting to directing and producing. He says, quote, "The movies she makes are still things that are important to her. Whether they succeed or fail, she still does what she believes in, and I'll always respect her for that." Why he divorced Angelina Jolie. Angelina seems to be one of Billie Bob's happiest relationships, if not his longest. They had fun together and seemed happy when they were in public. What tore them apart? One part of the equation was that Billie Bob never felt good enough for her. It's an understandable feeling when you're married to such a major star. The major reason, though, was something else. Billie Bob said they had, quote, different lifestyles. She was a global traveler. He was almost agoraphobic, preferring to stay at home. She wanted to go to big events and talk to everyone. He's a surprisingly shy man who'd hide in the corner. They both ended up needing to find someone they were more compatible with. Billie Bob's current wife. Billie Bob said he'd swear off marriage after Angelina, but that didn't last long. He met Connie Angland on the set of 2003's Bad Santa. They were married in a private ceremony at his LA home in 2014 after 11 years of dating. They have a daughter together named Bella. Even GQ magazine noticed that Connie is more Billie Bob's speed. She's a fellow homebody, so they don't have to force each other to go anywhere. Bella is currently being homeschooled. That gives him plenty of time to spend with her when he comes home from work. He seems very happy with his new family. Now it's time to hear from you. Who's your favorite celebrity couple who eventually parted ways? Let us know in the comments section below.